Hey, welcome and welcome back. So this video might be a little bit different, but it is also very timely. I'm basically 1 month away from giving birth, and of course I'm thinking about names. So what better opportunity is there to look into some strong Swedish names? I wasn't very familiar with Swedish names, but now we live in Sweden. It makes absolutely sense also to look into Swedish names. We have not decided yet on the name, so we might actually choose one of the names I'm going to introduce you to in this video, but also please feel free to suggest strong Swedish names down in the comments below. It's going to be a girl, so we'll concentrate on girl names, but you never know, they never can guarantee you 100% that it is going to be the one sex or the other. So I would say it's 80-90% a girl, and then we will see what comes out. So yeah, at the end of this video, I will also tell you one kind of old German name I have in my mind for a girl. And then I will also tell you one of my partner's favorite names. It's actually for a boy and it's a very Swedish name. So make sure to watch the video until the end. Most of you might be familiar with my videos and where I'm coming from. But if you're new to my channel, I'm Julie and I'm originally from Germany. I moved to Sweden about 8 months ago, but actually from London, the UK, and not from Germany because I have lived in London the past 10 years with my British partner, and I also have already a 3-year-old daughter. So let's start with the first name. And I tried to practice a little bit the Swedish pronunciation. Hopefully you will recognize the name, but I will also put it over the screen so you know what I'm talking about. So the first name is Ebba. So I found out that this name is quite popular in Sweden. However, it actually has German-English origins, which I was very surprised because I've never heard it in Germany. And I have to cheat a little bit, but basically it means fortress of riches or strength of a boar. So I feel that is a very strong name. What do you think about Ebba? The second name I found and actually quite like is Astrid. So yeah, this name is quite popular in Sweden, especially because of the children's author Astrid Lindgren. I grew up with Astrid Lindgren and all her characters like Pippi Langstrumpf in German or Pippi Langstrumpf, and Ronja's Räuberstochter, which I believe is Rövardotter. I feel like it is a sign that I already fell in love with Astrid Lindgren's stories when I was a child. And now we live in Sweden and I can live my dream. I don't know if it's because the author, but I feel that Astrid actually sounds like a wise soul. If you asked me a few years back, I probably would have thought this name is a bit old school, but these days I really like it. Oh yeah, and Astrid basically means divinely beautiful. What a great meaning. The third name I want to introduce you to is Freyja. I have to say, this is one of my favorite names. It just sounds so amazing. But the more I look into this name, the more I found out how popular this name is. It's very popular in Sweden, but it's also very popular worldwide. There's probably nothing against having a popular name, but I just feel like, you know, everyone's child is very precious and special. So I kind of feel I want to find a name which, you know, is not super popular. But at the end of the day, I do love Freyja a lot. In Norse mythology, goddess Freyja was a beautiful blue-eyed goddess and sister of Freya, who rode a boar with golden bristles. She symbolized as the deity of love, beauty and fertility. That has a very strong reputation, and basically Freyja means lady, noble woman. Then the next name is Singna. The name actually means victory. So when I saw the name, it looked very special, but then when I started actually to pronounce it, I wasn't sure if I come across very confident saying that name out loud. Singna. So yeah, maybe it's not going to be that name because I feel like I need to be as strong as the name itself to say it out loud. But what do you think about the name Singna? The fifth name I want to mention here is Thora. And maybe my partner gets confused when he sees that name because he probably would say Thora. Because English people always see the TH as a the. But it basically means thunder goddess. I mean, that is such a strong name. And who doesn't want to give their child a very strong name? There are some amazing Swedish names out there. Do let me know what the names of your children are in the comments down below. So the next name is Nova. Okay, this name is not exactly Swedish. It has more a Latin origin. So it kind of means new. Nova is a name that has the feel of both newness from his meaning and great energy from being an astronomical term for a star that suddenly increases in brightness then fades. So for some reason this name is actually getting quite popular. I've never really heard of it until I looked into like Swedish names. It is not Swedish, but it is also quite popular in Sweden. Do you know the name Nova? The next name is Heda. I love that when I was researching Swedish names that I came across quite a few names I've never heard before. And that makes it so exciting. I also like that most Swedish names are very simple, you know, just a few letters, not overly long. And sometimes they have repetitive letters within the name. So I find that actually also quite attractive. You know, my daughter is actually called Lily Jazz. So you can see that it's a little bit of a pattern there. But yeah, Heda actually means contention. So I'm not quite sure about the meaning there because it doesn't sound 100% positive, but I do like the sound of the name Heda. Number 8 is Lova. And there are two reasons why this name actually caught my eye. One is that my daughter has a little boy in her kindergarten group who is called Lovin. Since the first day she mentioned the little boy Lovin, I thought it was a beautiful name, and also because it does sound a little bit like love, you know, and that's kind of like a nice association. Although the meaning is more renowned Varia, promise. I'm not sure about the first meaning of the name. Promise I really like, why not? Lova, promise. I also read that it is a version of Lovisa. Lovisa sounds actually pretty nice, but not so much Louisa, although the name itself is also quite beautiful. It's just a little bit too common for me. But yeah, Lovisa or Lova are both beautiful names. What do you think? The next name on the list of strong Swedish names is Linea. So I read that actually it's a very popular name in Sweden and in Norway. And I think I have seen maybe a few people called Linea and they were from Norway. So yeah, I think it's actually more popular in Norway than in Sweden. But in both countries it's quite popular and it actually means lime tree. I just think that the name sounds really nice. Linea. And the next name is Tuva or Tuva. And it means beautiful. I think my partner found this name and he was quite, pleased with the name. He quite liked it. When I heard it the first time, I wasn't sure, but sometimes you have to grow on names. So that's also why I wanted to include this name in the list to see what it sounds like when I say it out loud. Tuva. Yeah, it was a bit similar with my daughter. My partner started saying jazz to the bum. And at the beginning, I didn't like it much. I think he tried to manipulate me a little bit, by saying it over and over again. And although I couldn't imagine calling our daughter Jazz, I came up with the name Lily, which I really liked. But then again, Lily is such a popular name. So that was an issue for me. So I didn't want to just call her Lily. So we decided at the end to call her Lily Jazz. But yeah, we were just talking about Tuva or Tuva. And let me introduce you to the next name on my list. And that is Svea. I think it means like of the Swedes, or Svea means free, but as well as sea from Nordic Sve and sun in Germanic. So there's a lot of stuff coming from different directions about the name Svea. It can be also translated as little Swedish girl. That's quite cute. Either way, I like actually all of the meanings and also the sound of Svea. And the last Swedish name I want to introduce you to is Elsa. And although it is very popular in Sweden, it actually also comes from Germany, which, I had no idea. The name Elsa is a girl's name of German origin, meaning pledged to God. So I'm not sure of the meaning here. I'm not very religious, so it always sounds a little bit weird when there is a religious meaning behind the name. And also, although I find Elsa very beautiful, it does remind me now of Elsa from Frozen, and I will never forget that connection. So it's probably not going to happen that I will call our child Elsa. And also it would be very confusing for my daughter, who is a fan of Frozen. Okay, and then my bonus name, my old German name on the list is actually Freida. Yes, it sounds a little bit like Freyja, which I actually like. As I told you, I'm quite a fan of Freyja, but it is too popular, while Freida is not very popular at all. You maybe have never really heard of it, and the meaning it actually is elf or magical council or peaceful, Freida. It does sound a little bit like Freida, and it might come also from the name Friederike, which is also a very German name, which I also like. But I think I would call her Freida rather than Friederike. And yeah, Friederike also comes from the German word peace, so that makes sense. That then Freida means peaceful. So yeah, this name has a little bit of a German origin, although we did have some German origins in the list. And then I also reveal the strong Swedish boy name my partner has in mind if it's going to be a boy, and that is Ragnar. So what do you think about this name? Thanks so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I also hope that I will see you in my next video. Until then, have a great day and stay safe. Heda.